What's happening, fam? L.A.R movement still moving. Book is entitled Lessons from a Non-Custodial Father at Amazon, Kindle, and CreateSpace. This video is entitled A Manufactured Enemy. I'm not feeling that good, so bear with me. When you look out into society, there's a part of how people interact with other people that you can see they're afraid of something or someone in their mind who really doesn't exist, but they made up an enemy, so they gotta ride with it. And no matter where they're at or what they're doing, when they come across and interacting with people who they feel mean them harm, they do completely irrational things. For instance, if you heard Stephen A. Smith's comments about why the NBA players shouldn't wear hoodies, he's mad at Nike for NBA players wearing hoodies because it could remind the crowd of Trayvon Martin. Do you realize how nutty that sounds? People seem to forget that people actually wore hoodies, and especially athletes, to keep warm so they don't pull muscles or tweak tendons or those type of things, so you can stay warm and stay loose. But because where does most of the heat from your body leave from? Your head or your feet. You always keep on shoes, you don't have anything on your head. But this is what happens when you manufacture enemies. You really start to believing that when you're making sense when you're being completely asinine. And I can say that about myself going out to places. People, I've seen that many a times as a black man. When grown men of other races, when I was a child, have this demented look in their eyes because for some odd reason, an 11-year-old is going to just be the bane of his existence and kill him. You know what I'm saying? Because in their mind, they believe this stuff because it's a manufactured enemy. What I mean by that, bear with me. Most black men know you go from a point where you're a cute little kid to the guy that's going to kill you. And it can be in the same year. It just depends on what size you are. Somewhere between 10 and 13, you go from a cute little kid to people being scared to death that you're going to kill them. No in between. So what winds up happening, it looks crazy because people have this, they're out here playing the knockout game, and what about Chicago? And these kids out here savages, and they listen to this bumpity bump music, and they have no training whatsoever. They're walking around with 9mm. They're all 6'5", bald headed and swole, and then they go right into their homes that very same night and cheer their lungs out for a guy who's big, black, bald headed, or muscular, or is the epitome of all the size-wise, stature-wise things that they say they're so earthly afraid of. And it's weird, you know what I'm saying? Kid playing in the park, oh God, he's gonna put me he's gonna choke me out. I'm tapping out. In your mind, Then you go home, dunk on him, LeBron. No. And I made a video about this a while back when I said, a guy was in traffic and he hit my car on purpose because he wanted me to hurry up. And when I got out of the car, he drove off. But where he drove to, he just drove to a red light, so I pulled up next to him. And then the guy was like, he's reaching down like this for a gun, talking about I spilled my coffee. I didn't mean to do it. And I'm sitting there, like I said before, little did he know I got a gun too. So I was like, okay, whatever. But it's because of a manufactured fear. You see, uh, you see it all the time. That's what the movies are for. You know, depending on what time of year we going with, or what time we going. There's a manufactured enemy with Arabs and Muslims. They're manufactured. They're gonna blow us all. Kingdom come. And to me, it's like the problem with this manufactured enemy thing. Is usually the person who made up an enemy in their mind has got a lot of dirt with them. And you notice that because everything that they do is like a one-off, or it has some kind of excuse behind it that isn't even really feasible. Like, these people go out killing people all the time. No, you go out killing people. Your people go out killing people all the time. Well, we're peacekeeping and we're trying to keep the world civilized. There's no way to keep the world civilized by going out killing people who are not bothering you. Really, you just create an enemy. So to justify it, you're making up more enemies in your mind because you probably killed somebody's parents and siblings, extended family, and now the only way you could justify it is by saying something like, they were stealing Snicker bars over there, and they were gonna get full because they weren't satisfied, and they were gonna kill us all. Like, okay, whatever. I see feminists do the same thing. Men are just supposed inherently evil, and you try to talk to a woman who's a feminist, she's looking for you to say something or a particular amount of words in succession that she could just, you hate women. And you're like, we was talking about the weather. Don't say that I'm cute. Stop objectifying me. You might rape me. If I tell you I don't want any of your advances, you might shoot me in the middle of the street. Where do you come up with this stuff? Because you're a man. Okay. So, but once again, you ask somebody to actually, okay, because you have one of those, who was that, the ugly chick who thought Odell Beckham, who got offended when Odell Beckham didn't want to talk to her because she was ugly, or he just wasn't paying her no mind because he was talking to somebody or whatever. How dare you not talk to me when I didn't want you to talk to me because you're beneath me, but you didn't pay me any attention, and you stop not objectifying me because I want you to objectify me because I want you to say that you're wrong for objectifying me. Like you're sitting there like, where's this coming from? Because you have conversations with people who are having a conversation with the stereotype in their mind, with the ideology in their mind, and we've all been there. Like, we've been sitting down. Well, maybe we all haven't been there, but I've been there where I've had a conversation with people who are talking, and I'm like, I don't know how you got from that to this, and I don't know how this connects to that, but I get that, for some odd reason, you see me as this because you've messed up in the head. And I gotta fit this, and everybody that's like me has to be this. And because if we're not this, and you need to find a response. Like, it's kind of like making up an enemy when you're a bully, because somebody's gonna come for you because you a bully. So you go around picking fights with people and you keep picking and picking and picking at people, and then somebody responds, you go, aha, I knew I should have bullied you in the first place because look at the way you responded to me bullying you. Maybe people don't like bullies. I mean, have you ever thought about maybe you should keep your drama to yourself and not spread it around the world? Nobody wants it. Like, handle that issue on your own. And people are like, oh, no, not really. And, you know, those type of people who manufacture enemies, they like intruding on people's lives and space because they're looking for a reason to justify them being just a habitual line stepper and just being just a jerk. And the only way to justify it is to antagonize somebody until they get a response. And the bad part about that is they don't see themselves as antagonizing. They don't see themselves as an instigator. They don't see themselves as a nutcase until they see someone being like them in the same situation, spewing back some of their same rhetoric. Because a lot of these people who make these enemies up in their head, it seems like it's a what do you call that? Everybody has a similar profile. You pick a type of person or a group of people, and the person who the people who will manufacture an enemy have a profile. And most of them, they just stick to that profile until they see somebody who they may know that doesn't fit that profile, and somebody just like them profiles them, and you got to be like this. I'm like, yo, what the heck? No, you're talking to the wrong person. But they can only see that when it's somebody that they know and somebody acts just like them with that person. They could literally interject and say, no, you messing with the wrong person, and go, and 10 minutes later go and mess with somebody the exact same way and not skip a beat. Like, don't even think about it. You know, and what's crazy is when you manufacture enemies, you create enemies. And a lot of times what people are scared of is karma. And it's gonna happen. I mean, you can't go around knocking on the devil's door without him answering. You know. And usually, you know, you get what you're looking for. And then that justifies your fear and fake fear that you use as a tool to be a proactive demon in people's lives. And then, you know, it is what it is. But to me, people who manufacture enemies are nutcases. Just nutcases. I'm out.